Queen Anne's lace. It's been a staple in the Pinola garden for well over 20 years. The first seeds were gifted to us by Martha Ann Hudson, and we have enjoyed them ever since. Seeds, I say, yes, because that's how you get Queen Anne's lace. A lot of people consider it a weed, and I guess it would be a weed. It could take over anything. But it's a beautiful flower to us, and one that I use all the time. I love it in arrangements. It just adds that little bit of extra, just makes it very light and cheery. And the thing that's really neat about Queen Anne's lace is it was named after Queen Anne herself because it actually looks like lace. It's so delicate, and it makes wonderful in cutting groups, and it really makes a great accent to your garden. I love it planted in mass, and I love that with Queen Anne's lace, you can get blooms all throughout the year, from May to October. And I'm going to show you how we do that, how we make sure that we have blooms all of the time with Queen Anne's lace. I love it in this particular garden. It's also called a carrot flower, and you can see why. This is Queen Anne's lace that was actually seeded back in the fall of this year. And this is January, and you can see it's coming up, and it looks much like carrots. So what I did is I dropped these seeds in the soil in the fall, and now I have a good start of Queen Anne's lace. So these will probably bloom in early spring, but I'm going to want something that's going to bloom a little bit later. So right here is my Black-Eyed Susans, and you can see here that I've got them planted in a bunch. So we've got 8 or 10 plants, and they're all in a pretty large area, and we've got space in between them. So what I want to do is I love the mix of the Queen Anne's lace with the Black-Eyed Susans. I love the contrast. So I've pulled up all the weeds that are around the Black-Eyed Susan, and now what you need to do is you just need to rake. And I mean lightly rake. So we're going to rake this area completely, and you can see the little trenches that my rake is making. And so what I want to do now is I want to get my seeds, the seeds that I harvested in the summer of last year, and each seed head will have hundreds, or each bloom head, I should say, will have hundreds of seeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those seeds and I'm going to scatter them much like I was doing salt or pepper. And I'm just going to cover the entire area with those seeds, just scattering them everywhere. So now what I'll have is I will have those wonderful Black-Eyed Susans, and all around those Black-Eyed Susans, I'm going to have Queen Anne's lace. So that's going to be a wonderful contrast. So now that I have all the seeds down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rake and I'm going to flip it over. Okay, so I'm using the back side of the rake to take and cover these seeds a little bit. And if I raked left to right, then I'm going to take and go crossways with my rake so that I kind of cover them up. It's always good to have a cat that can help you out with this. So I'm just going to cover them up really good, and then what I'll do is we'll water those in. And so you saw a minute ago that I already have some that are up and out of the ground, so these will be several weeks later to maybe even a month. But look at this contrast. The Black-Eyed Susans with the Queen Anne's lace. I don't think that can get any prettier. Queen Anne's lace is such a great addition to your garden. And if you're looking for Queen Anne's lace for your garden, we have seeds from our plants available. So step on over to Pinola Farms and check them out.